This instalment of my top 180s film series is a rather special one, as all the films discussed are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. Why yes, my intention is to make you feel old, but it's also a testament as to how these classics have withstood the test of time, like a barrel-aged bottle of whiskey. These are my favourite films from the year of the first televised House of Lords debate, Madonna's Like a Virgin reached #1 in the charts, Whitney Houston released her debut album, and the United Kingdom introduced the Weights and Measures Act, changing British drinking forever. It's Snooty Nerds! Top 10 Films of 1985! Technology is amazing. It allows the least popular kids in school to create the woman of their dreams on a computer and bring her into the real world. Weird science indeed. You can never go wrong by combining science fiction and comedy, nor can you go wrong with a teen movie directed by John Hughes. Social outcasts Gary and Wyatt put their nerdiness to good use by creating Lisa, a computer-generated woman with the power to warp reality, dead set on making them the big men on campus. We even get Vernon Wells spoofing his character from Mad Max 2. By the way, a young Robert Downey Jr. was in this film. It's worth watching just to see a young Tony Stark having a brown alert. I'm getting in my bag! Now, I am aware that No Retreat, No Surrender gets a bad reputation for a number of reasons. Most notably, modern outlets using Jean-Claude Van Damme's likeness for marketing when he only has a small role in the film. Keep in mind that it's not a Van Damme film, but a Kurt McKinney film that happens to feature Van Damme, and you might actually enjoy it. After all, the fight choreography takes a lot of influences from Hong Kong action films. It's the story of Jason, a young karate practitioner who has to relocate after his father is chased out of town by karate gangsters. Jason meets up with his old girlfriend Kelly and runs afoul of her jealous suitor, and it's basically a wilder and crazier retelling of The Karate Kid, but with the ghost of Bruce Lee filling Mr. Miyagi's role. But it has a great ending, with Jason going toe-to-toe with Van Damme. The Muscles from Brussels steals the show with his iconic use of the splits. This film may be heavily flawed, but in a cheesy way, it's also a hell of a lot of fun. On that note, few things are cheesier than Japanese monster movies, in this case, Godzilla 1985. Now, some Godzilla purists might consider this a cheat entry, considering that it's a re-edit of Return of Godzilla from 1984, but this Western adaptation is a very different film, as different as Power Rangers is to Super Sentai. It's a direct sequel to the original 1956 film, with Raymond Burr reprising his role as Mr. Martin from that film's American edit. After a lot of the old Godzilla films became more comedic, this reboot took the King of the Monsters back to his roots as a terrifying engine of destruction in a dark and gritty disaster film. It's the fancy French camembert of cheesy Japanese monster movies. Four boys find a map to a hidden pirate ship and go on a treasure hunt. Sounds innocent enough, until they run into a family of gangsters who are also after the treasure. And their monster sloth too. What can I tell you about The Goonies? It's a cult classic that inspired Stranger Things. Local kids trying to save their town from being demolished and going on an Indiana Jones-style adventure. It helps that Indy's sidekick Shortman is actually one of the protagonists. My favourite character is Chunk, partly because of his hilarious confession of his previous crimes, but he's also the one who convinces Sloth to stand up to his abusive mother. By the way, did you know that in addition to a young pre-MCU Josh Brolin, half of the main quartet voiced Ninja Turtles? Jackie Chan did a couple of films to appeal to the United States market. Not his best work by his own account. However, one good thing to come from it was that The Protector provided him with the inspiration for his masterpiece, Police Story. Jackie plays a super cop tasked with protecting the secretary of a crime boss, hoping for her witness testimony. But a bigger conspiracy unfolds as our hero battles gangsters, corruption, and his on-the-rocks relationship with his long-suffering girlfriend. Police Story is some of the best work by Hong Kong's #1 action star. His most brutal fight scenes are the most over-the-top stunts of his career, leaving mass destruction in his path. You'll never think of catching a bus the same way.
Oh, it's a great life on the buses. No matter what the time of day, you'll see the world on omnibuses. We're on our way.
Commando is the quintessential Arnold Schwarzenegger film. running around blowing stuff up and coining one-liners while bulldozing anyone that gets in his way, both figuratively and literally. It's a pretty simple plot. Arnold is out to rescue his kidnapped daughter, played by a young Alyssa Milano, from a group of terrorists. It's also one of the first films in Arnold's canon of work to incorporate his tongue-in-cheek sense of humour.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
Oh look, there's Vernon Wells as the final boss. We're seeing a lot of him this year. And now for a film about another one-man army going on the rampage. First Blood Part 2 sees the eponymous Rambo being recruited for a mission to rescue prisoners of war in Vietnam. Like Commando, it's a high-octane action film with a huge body count and explosions aplenty, but the story's a lot deeper, involving politics, betrayal, and morality. And a great soundtrack too. Jerry Goldsmith reportedly built his house on his score for the film, not to mention the magnificent ending song by Stallone's brother Frank. Just as Police Story is the quintessential Jackie Chan and Commando is the quintessential Schwarzenegger, Rambo is Stallone's his best. Aside from the Rocky series, this is the film most people think of when you talk about a Stallone film.
Yeah, the Stallone movie that was on last night was so good. Yeah, it had some spectacular explosions.
Oh look, 2 Stallone films back to back! With Rocky 4, Old Sly was a busy man this year. After an exhibition match between Apollo Creed and Russian super soldier Ivan Drago goes horribly wrong, Rocky heads off to Russia to avenge the death of his friend and rival. Rocky 4 once again raises the bar with the training montages and workout music, not to mention the stakes being the highest in the entire series. Dolph Lundgren plays Drago like a Terminator machine, the strongest and deadliest boxer Rocky has ever faced. But it also has a message of peace in the end, trying to ease the Cold War tension that was going on back then. As inspiring as it is exciting. 1985 really was the year of the testosterone-charged action caper. Would you believe that one of the best films of 1985 was based on a board game? Well, Clue, based on the board game known as Cluedo in the United Kingdom, is exactly that. Having Christopher Lloyd as Professor Plum and Tim Curry as the butler certainly helps. The 6 classic suspects are invited to a gothic mansion on a rainy night to expose a blackmailer, who, luckily enough, gets murdered in the dark. But who did the dirty deed?
That's what we're trying to find out! We're trying to find out who killed him, and where, and with what!
There's no need to shout.
I'm not shouting!
While they try to solve the crime, hijinks ensue with all kinds of people showing up. It's a masterclass in the art of farce. One of my favourite comedies of the year. Now for a recap before we get to number 1. Number 10, Weird Science. Number 9, No Retreat, No Surrender. Number 8, Godzilla 1985. Number 7, The Goonies. Number 6, Police Story. Number 5, Commando. Number 4, Rambo First Blood Part 2. Number 3, Rocky 4. And number 2, Clue.
Alright, I am! I'm shouting! I'm shouting! I'm shouting!
One of my other favourite comedies of the year is Back to the Future. You probably saw this one coming, as I've been using the instrumental for its opening number ever since I started this series. Skateboarding slacker Marty McFly helps the mad scientist Doc Brown with his time travel experiments, only for the pair to be shot at by terrorists. Marty makes his daring escape in a time-travelling DeLorean and gets stuck in the past when his parents were courting. What happens in the past? The woman destined to become his mother starts to fall in love with him. Family drama seems to be a recurring theme of the 80s. His only hope is to find a young Doc Brown and get the DeLorean working again. Back to the Future is simply one of the films that defined the 1980s. The perfect pacing, the incredible music, the relatable themes of self-improvement, not to mention starting off yet another unforgettable film trilogy. Back to the Future is simply timeless. I hope you've enjoyed celebrating 1985 with me. If you have, consider subscribing so we can keep this party going in 1986. See you in the future!